What's up, guys? So I'm trying to get completely fired up before I go back to the gym tonight. I'm drinking this like 3/4 decaf Americano or whatever the hell you want to call it with a little bit of espresso. So I just thought I would do a video to try to fire myself up, and I basically just want to share and talk about some of my favorite, maybe back or bicep or forearm overloading exercises. And the reason I started thinking about this is because I'm trying to be able to do a one-arm chin-up. And so, I don't have one of those weighted belts at the moment to hang weights from and do heavy pull-ups or chin-ups. So I started doing basically one-arm negative chin-ups. And I could not believe how much of pump or, stretch was basically going on in my biceps. I thought maybe I shouldn't even do it because I thought maybe my bicep was going to pop or something like that. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And in the past, I've been at a heavier weight. I don't really think there was, I just was not strong enough at least then to do it. And also, if you can actually hold yourself up above there for some seconds or whatever, I'm getting better at it, but the pump is just crazy. And I think it's, can help with, weighted stuff and, just getting better at pull-ups and chin-ups. But it's just ridiculous. Even in the basically lat area, it just was like pulling and stretching, and I just could not believe how much I just felt it. It was just like crazy. And so, I always like to basically, I haven't been doing this for a while, but I really like doing like one, overloading exercise just because sometimes, it's just fun, and also, maybe you're at a plateau or something like that. So, maybe some people can't, maybe way too much, or they're not strong enough yet for that. But there is other ways you can do that without having to be able to do, one arm negative. I mean, maybe you could even use a band and do it. I don't know. I don't really know how to like attach those just in the setup that I have. But another one I really like that I learned from basically Josh Bryant was, a V-bar row with two hands, and then you let go, and then you try to like basically, 5 or 7 seconds or however many seconds you want, and slowly do a negative. And I could not believe I did this a while ago, but I could not believe how sore my biceps were the next day. I mean, it was just like, I thought it was more of like a back movement, but my biceps were so sore. And that's just kind of a really creative, good idea. I mean, I don't really like using cables that much, but sometimes I just feel like it's a decent or a pretty good move, and especially just to overload. Another one I really like, another one I really like is basically a Zercher, hold or whatever. So you can set the pins lower and basically just hold a lot of weight. I mean, it works your biceps, your traps, your core and stuff like that. I just think it's a really good movement. And, a lot of people are against like a lot of people think that partials are bad. I'm not saying that's all you should do in your training. I'm just saying sometimes I like adding in those movements. I think they really, a lot of those movements really did help a lot. And also, bear, I don't know why a lot of people don't do this, but like bear hug, plated carries or walks or like, isometric holds. I mean, basically the burning in your biceps is out of this world, okay? I don't know why all these like, what you want to call bros or bodybuilders don't do that, because, I mean, aren't most people going for the pump? That is the most extreme pump I've basically, had in my bicep. It's like, basically you get like jacked doing cardio. The other day I held the 45-pound plate on an incline on a treadmill and went a mile kind of running, but I had to stop. But I'm just saying, it was just a ridiculous, pump. And it's also just, you can feel it a lot in your back and stuff. And I've also been doing like weighted farmer's walks, runs or whatever on the treadmill with maybe 25-pound plates in each hand, and 35-pound plates and 45-pound plates for a mile. And it's not really like an overload, but it kind of is. And yeah, I can't do it the whole time without dropping it, but it's just like stretching your back and your arms, and you're working your grip and your legs. I mean, it's just great stuff. I mean, I've heard that time under tension is king, and that's just an insane amount of time under tension. Yeah, the weights aren't that much, but I've heard that a bigger muscle has the ability to be a stronger muscle, and I think that's why gymnasts are so jacked, is because they do a lot of isometric stuff, and they're time under tension a lot. I also really like doing this, and I don't know, this might be, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe a lot of people won't be able to do this, but basically those gymnast rings, I would basically hold myself up like this. And I started, attaching weight to it and, just holding myself in that position. I don't really know what it's called, but the straight arm strength is I believe, very good. I mean, I think that could even help with, I think it helps your joint. I mean, you might want to be, was kind of needed to be a little bit careful because it just feels a little bit weird, but I think it's just a developed type of strength. You don't want to like hyperextend that area, but, I believe that could even help with maybe a lockout and stuff of a bench press. I mean, so I'm always just try and find and do things and come up with good ideas. I mean, I think the most important part though is, getting the reps in and stuff like that. But sometimes I like doing things, just to maybe, shock the muscle or, maybe get a little bit more growth. And I'm not really, it's just, I'm just always experimenting with new things, and I like coming up with the good ideas. But sometimes I don't like getting too carried away and doing a million different things at once. So it's like I'm just trying to add in, maybe one overloading exercise, not even every day, but it's just working on one movement. Like I said before, the negative one-arm chin-up, I cannot believe how good that is. And I might have to start trying some other negative variations because I'd like to try some negative bench presses in basically a power rack with the pin set. I'd like to hear if anybody else has had good success with that. I was trying it a while back, but I didn't really take it too seriously. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that as my favorite one. Is a couple of my favorite ones, basically the one-arm chin-up negative and the V-bar thing. But you could also do the V-bar, pulling it down and then letting it bring you up with one arm, because you can just bring it down more weight with two hands. And then also, the Zercher basically holds are very good. And, I really like these straight arm ones, but I don't know. I mean, maybe a lot of people can do those, but I don't know. I think maybe because I had a background in, calisthenics and body weight stuff, I don't know why I was able to do that, but I've seen some people that basically were pretty strong and even at body weight stuff, and for some reason it was hard for them. But so I don't know why it wasn't that hard for me. It's just, I'm not really sure. Sometimes people are good at different things, because I really didn't even train for it. But I'm trying to think if I have any. I mean, yeah, there is other good overloads and stuff, but I'm just saying ones that maybe people haven't thought of. Everyone knows about the rack pulls above the knees and stuff like that, but I got a little carried away with that. But they did really transfer over to basically weighted pull-up stuff. I mean, I believe they did. I mean, I didn't do any pull-ups or weighted chin-ups for a long time, and I could basically do a lot of weight by doing that, and like cheat rows and stuff like that. But I don't know, my form started getting too loose, so now I'm just working on a couple other overloading stuff, and I just wanted to share a couple of my favorites and try to get fired up for the gym. Let me know if you liked the video and subscribe for more content. Thanks.